Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change a coolant reservoir tank on a Peterbilt, and you can also find these on Kenworths. Pretty much the same tank, easy job. I'm going to show you how I do it without completely draining everything. This is just our parts truck, so I will not be putting a tank back on. I'm taking this one off for another truck. I'm going to show you a couple different ways. Here's what I'll be using for the job: impact gun, a socket, wire cutters if there's any zip ties. This truck doesn't look to have any zip ties. Tool to take off the hose clamps is 5/16 bit. Hose pliers. On this truck, I'm just going to zip tie them closed because I'm not putting the tank back on. And pliers and empty coolant bottles that are clean. I'm going to put our coolant in there. So first thing first, we're going to be on top side of tank. I'm going to crack this loose. Sometimes they can be a bitch to get off. And then we're going to take these two hoses off. But we're going to kind of leave that one connected. I'm going to show you why. This one, we'll pull that off. And since we're up here, we're going to take these bolts out. This is a 1/2 inch or a 13 you can use on these. The tank ain't gonna fall. It's clamped in there, in that groove right there. These right here, you can twist and spin that tank out of that bracket, or you can take these out right here. That is 15 millimeters, and it'll all come out. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys how to drain the coolant without draining the whole entire system. We're just gonna be draining just the tank. First, we're going to take the cap all the way off, and then we're going to get this hose, spin it off, and we're going to bring it down to our empty coolant bottle, and it'll start draining just like that. You don't have to go underneath the radiator and drain the entire system, and it'll start slowly going down. And just keep moving over to other coolant bottles until it's all the way empty, and I'm gonna guess on how far down the hose it is. So I'm getting ready to change coolant bottles. I'm getting pretty full. You can put your thumb on the end of it and pick it up like that, and it won't leak because you're above the water line. This is how far I am with just one bottle. Now I'm gonna swap bottles, and it should be good. So now you can see the coolant level is beyond the bottom of the tank. It is now into the hose. I'm gonna let it drain down a little bit in the hose, then I will pull the hose off and clamp it. Okay, now that our coolant is down, we're gonna work on the bottom side of the tank. We're gonna unplug this sensor here. Easy as that, pull down on this tab, slide it out. Now we're gonna take this hose clamp off here. Get it nice and loose. We're gonna slide this hose off of there. Look at that. No coolant coming out. We're all good. So now I'm gonna get back up there. I'm gonna move this hose out of the way, and I will pick this tank up and spin it out of this bracket. Just go back and forth until it pops out. Okay, now I got it loosened up. We'll pull it off. And there you go. Reservoir tank's off. So putting one back on is pretty much just repeating the process. I put them in empty coolant jugs because it makes it a lot easier putting the coolant back in there. Doing it this way, then you don't get air in the system. You don't have to run it and burp any of the air out. So that's how I do it. Hope it helps somebody out. Makes life easy. I also want to mention that the left side of the reservoir tank is the overflow. This one has coolant in it. The truck did get hot and blew coolant on this side. Yours shouldn't have any coolant over here unless something happened. Most of the times these will split at the seams or on top. They'll get old and start cracking and start leaking through the top. But I will drain this side, and it should be all good.